2024 Bossies Preshow is brought to you by Grubb Music, available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and other major music platforms. Follow Grubb Music on X at @AaronMGrubb, on Blue Sky at aarongrubb.bsky.social, and on Instagram at AaronGrubbMusic. And Read Only Magazine, a biannual retro gaming publication that delves into the art and passion surrounding classic video games. Follow Read Only Magazine on Instagram at Read Only Magazine. Visit readonlymagazine.com for more info. Hello everyone, welcome to the 2024 Bossies Preshow Event, presented by Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, Celeste Roberts, contributor to and co-editor of Read Only Magazine.
And I am Andre Wilson. I am a content creator and proud contributor to the Boss Rush family of podcasts. We are honored to host the 2024 Bossies Preshow as we celebrate the games, platforms, and communities that have brought us all together.
Tonight's main event is a tribute to our shared love for incredible stories, unforgettable characters, and boundless creativity. From the music that inspires us and the levels that challenge us, to the groundbreaking AAA titles, innovative indie games and their creators, to the fiercest villains, the greatest heroes, and even the most unlikely companions, we're here to celebrate it all. But before we dive into the festivities, let's take a moment to reflect on the remarkable growth of Boss Rush and its vibrant community over the past 5 years.
For many, content creation can feel very overwhelming, let me tell you. Questions like, where do I start? Or what tools do I need? What should I focus on? Often pop up as we listen to podcasts, scroll through Instagram, scroll through TikTok and everything else, or watch our favorite creators on YouTube and Twitch. The Boss Rush community has provided that support and guidance as we explore and tap into our own creativity. So Celeste, there's something I don't know about you, is how did you get involved with Boss Rush?
All right, so I was asked to discuss some new PlayStation games with Ed and Corey in the summer of 2020. And then I began helping with Nintendo POW Block and 1v1, the creator interview series. And I also helped Ed host Talk the Walk, a walking sim and virtual novel series. How about you, Andre? How did you get involved?
Well, for me, I'm a big podcast guy, and when I was a really big Destiny player, I was kind of scrolling through podcasts, and I saw this one podcast called Tower Casuals, and I was like, sure, I'll listen to that. And then from there, I listened. I binged a lot of the episodes, and then I found Corey and Josh on socials. I reached out and said, hey, I'm a fan of the podcast. And then we connected, and then we started playing Destiny. And then from there, the rest is honestly history. And that's kind of how I'm here, is through the love of gaming. So it's kind of a beautiful full circle moment.
I love that. And so speaking of gaming, what is the first video game you remember playing, and did you ever complete it?
Jogging this memory is real fun. The first game that I can honestly really picture that I played, I probably played a lot more before, but I can't recall them. But the one that always stuck out to me and kind of still does is, if anyone knows the game I'm talking about, you'll understand the reason. It's called Legend of Dragoon. It was for the PlayStation 1. And I have told myself and many other friends of mine that PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, PC, Xbox, every other console, this game is my all-time favorite game I've ever played. I've gotten to the ending of the game multiple times, but then when I get to the final boss, I will just restart the game with a new party because I just love the journey so much. It has 4 discs. and I've gotten through all 4 deaths probably like 3 times, and then I'll get to the end and go, well, time to start over again, and I'll just restart it. And it's from the soundtrack to the story to the combat, all-time favorite game. If anyone is out there and they worked on it, please remake it. That's all I'm asking. Please.
And you completed it.
So I've never beaten this game only, and it makes sense to me, but I think it's a beautiful thing. I've never beaten this game because I never want it to end. Does that make sense? Like I've gotten to the final boss so many times, and then I've always been like, I don't want this to end, so I'll just restart it. And I could go back to any of my save files and I could beat it, but I'm like, I don't want this to ever end. So I hold that in my heart, and I'm like, I might beat it one day, but right now it's kind of living rent free in my heart.
I love that. I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah, I think it's cute, but I've told some friends and they're like, just beat the game. And I'm like, I can't. But speaking of games, what is a game that, what's a game that came out that was all the rave for everyone, but you tried it and you were like, not the game for me, and you maybe got like questioned, like, oh my god, why don't you think it's good? Like, have you ever had a game come out that worldwide it's very like hyped, but then you were like, meh, it's okay?
Oh gosh, putting me on the spot, Andre. People are gonna come out with pitchforks.
All the torches.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if it's fair. I don't know if this answers your question or falls into the category, but I have actually never played a traditional Pokemon game. My 2 younger sisters are huge Pokemon fans. I played Pokemon Stadium, I played Pokemon Snap, and I would watch them play on their Game Boy Colors, but I just have not played a traditional one, and my husband's like, you got to try. Come on, I think you would like it. I used to watch the cartoon. It's not that, I don't know if it was overhyped, just didn't speak to me, but
fair.
But Andre, based on our conversation, I think we've both been involved in this community for a long time, both Boss Rush and the gaming community. And I can tell that we're both big fans of the people in this community.
Yes.
So I have turned to acting as more of an occasional guest and a sideline supporter. And I continue to see so many kind, passionate, and fun people involved in the Boss Rush community. And that's honestly what drew me in when I first was invited to record with Corey and Ed. And it's why I consider so many folks my good friends.
I think for me, again, when I reached out to Corey and Josh, I think nowadays, people in gaming, it's a little different than how it was back then. And I just think the one thing that drew me into the Boss Rush family as a whole is when I did my first episode, everyone was just super kind. We all had a lot in common, and there was no like negativity as how I noticed there is today with gaming. It's when you find people that can just vibe with you about certain games. Nowadays, it's very rare to find that. I find it's very rare to find someone who, say, if we have different opinions, we can still be friends and not be like, oh, well, you're silly for thinking that, right? So I think that's what drew me in, especially with Josh and Corey, is just like having a social group of just people who think like me with gaming.
It's awesome. It's awesome. What do you think the community is going to say about all this?
I think the community will agree. It might just be me, but I just think when a new game is like coming out, I see a lot of negative comments on like socials, but whenever I see Boss Rush people talk about it, it's like a ray of sunshine and not just a cloud of rain. And I'm like, that's why you're my people.
I am so excited to be a part of this Boss Rush community of people in this game industry, professionals, streamers, content creators, people who just love games. The Boss Rush community has connected so many people, given so many people a platform, told so many wonderful stories about, our lives as people that love video games. And again, I'm just so happy to be a part of that community and being able to contribute back on a night like this means the world to me.
For me, the Boss Rush community is like family. It was at PAX West, I believe it was. Yeah, it was at PAX West. And I was there by myself. And they treated me like family. They invited me to hang out with them. And it was really fun. And I'll never forget that. And always be grateful for the fact that they treat me like family and always continue to treat me like family. And it's one of the reasons I like going to PAX is to see my Boss Rush family.
I would like to thank the people in this community and in my life to have brought me to this position. And I am forever grateful for them.
Thank you to the entire community for being there for WASD and beyond since we first started. You guys really pushed us and drove us to continue to make content when it didn't seem feasible to make content a lot of the time. You guys have been the best since day one, and we greatly appreciate that. And something we'll never forget, and the friendship will always keep, I hope.
I want to say thank you to the Boss Rush community for being an amazing voice for the world of games, nerd culture, and bringing people together. You have great connections with the development community, your team, and also the world of games. What you bring together with Boss Rush and the other podcasting communities is amazing. I'm so happy to be part of the Boss Rush culture.
Boss Rush community, you guys are amazing. I mean, look, you guys, if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't be happening. And the Bossies and all these boss keys that are being handed out and all these games that have been reviewed, looked at, and covered, all are empowered. You know, the team at Boss Rush is empowered by you. And I just want to say thank you guys, and let's keep it going. I'm looking forward to the 2025 Bossies.
I just want to give a shout out to the Boss Rush crew. They were all great. Hanging out at PAX again was wonderful. Having Stephanie on the panel and being my opposition, ton of fun. You know, we'll see how that competition went out, but still great competitors. Fantastic podcast. Listen every week to multiple shows. I love Boss Rush, and I hope you all do as well.
So I'm so thankful to be a part of the Boss Rush community. Everyone is so wonderful, and I've had so much fun anytime that I've engaged with the community or been a part of the show. So thanks everyone out there.
Boss Rush Network is the definition of a great podcast and community network of gamers and geeks and just all those kind of things that we love. And the community is a perfect reflection of that. I love the Boss Rush Network.
The Boss Rush community and group of content creators that they have under their umbrella are some of the best around. They've been kind and generous to me and Nick and myself specifically, even back in the days of Diggity, which was my podcast prior to this. And they've been there pretty much since the beginning and have been welcoming. The community is fantastic. They always engage with us whenever we post anything. Just truly some of the kindest people out there, and we're blessed to have them in our lives.
Man, what is there I guess to not say? I feel like Boss Rush is what I want so many people to find and it's what I want people to think about when they think of gaming communities, you know, people who are totally passionate freaks about weird games and who disagree a lot but still come together and do it anyway. It's the place that I tell people to go for insights on gaming and to get a broad sort of swath of perspectives and a lot of like really informed people who I don't know there's no way that I could keep up with it in the way that people at Boss Rush do, but I feel really like it's a special place, and it's grown in a really, really awesome way, at least since I've been following. So cheers to many more.
So this community, like you said, Andre, and as we've heard from the amazing people that have just contributed, it's always been a place of encouragement. Fresh ideas are embraced. Individuals are celebrated for who they are, and every unique experience is valued. It's also helping inspire a new generation of gamers to just be themselves, to share their passion for games, just as we did when we first picked up our first controller. and immerse ourselves in the worlds of our favorite characters, letting our imagination soar.
I agree. I agree. Watching kids discover the magic of video games today might be different from when we were growing up, and that's fair. I can personally say watching my kids get into gaming now is a really cool full circle experience. Whether they're mastering the cheeky jump in Astrobot or Mario, or fighting the victory for the first place in Fortnite, or my personal favorite, conquering a master raid in Destiny, these milestones are always worth celebrating.
I agree. And if you don't believe us, see for yourself in this segment presented by the kids of Boss Rush.
So, hi, I'm Derek, and one of my favorite moments in gaming this year was OG Chapter 1 season of Fortnite released. That very much inspired me because that's when I started playing with my dad, and I really loved it. One of my other favorite moments from Fortnite is when they remixed Chapter 2, which was very interesting because they added a bunch of collabs like Snoop Dogg. Also, I started to join my school's esports team. You could pick between Mario Kart or Smash, and I picked Super Smash Brothers because I really love it. My main is, it's like, I forget what the name is. It's the Ice Climbers. I love the Ice Climbers, and I'm really good at like their tornado move. I'm really good at that. So for the past month and a half I've been doing it. We're having our first official match in January. I really like to play Roblox because it's multiple games in one. So like, let's say I'm not really feeling a shooter game. I can also play just like a fun role play game, anything really. I can also create worlds. It's so like creative, and it's kind of like a really good version of Scratch, which is what we use at our school. Yeah, that's probably my top 3 games of the year.
Hello, my name's Cole. One of my favorite games is Roblox. I play it with my friend. His name's Leo. I play Minecraft with him. I play Fortnite with him. I did like Halo a little bit because I used to do a lot of stories with my brother, and that's probably those 2 of my favorite games. I like some different crochet YouTubers. I like Nick, he's a cooking YouTuber, and I do like a little bit Mr. Beast, a little bit. I like Xbox, and I want to get a PlayStation and an Oculus. Video games help. It helps calm people down. Like, it helps me, like, different games can help me calm down, and I can play with my friends, like, a lot. And there's a lot of different like games that people make, and a lot of really good games.
Hi there, my name's Stephanie, and this is
Nikolai!
Nikolai, how old are you?
9.00111.
Now, Nikolai, what do you like about video games?
I like about video games that people have such creative ideas. One person even made a replica. You can buy it on Amazon if you want. Yeah, and also like Mario Kart, that you get a race, and there's so many cool details you can play. Yeah. And also other games, some wholesome games, and the indie directs are also part of the game industry.
How do you know about wholesome games and the indie direct?
Because I learned about the industry of video games, that they make over 2 times the one as the films from the movie. Isn't that a cool fact? That means they made over $99.6 million.
Don't fact check that.
It's true.
Let's end with a quick debate. Who is the superior Mario brother?
I know who the superior Mario brother is. It's Mario.
Luigi.
Mario.
Luigi.
Mario.
Luigi! Luigi can jump higher.
Mario is tougher.
Ah, well, Luigi might be a scaredy cat, but he overcomes his fears.
No, he doesn't. Mario's the strongest, and he can do that.
So the debate shall continue, but until then, cheers, and
until then, Mario's the best.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and I really like Rosalina. That's Peach, Daisy, and Pauline, and Toadette from Mario Kart and Mario Party, and all the Mario games that we played so far. And I also like that Yoshi game where you have to go to dark, spooky caves and you have to try to get a key so you can pass it, then go to another level. Sometimes my dad wakes me up when he does his podcasts.
What's your favorite game to play? Elsa Anna. Why do you think playing games is so much fun?
Because I did the math.
What's the funniest thing that happened while you were playing a game?
I guess I'm Brody. I'm Brody. I am Brody. I'm Brody on it.
If you could make up a game, what would your game be about? It would be a Barbie Dreamhouse game. What's your favorite game to play?
My favorite game in the whole entire world is to play Roblox. Whenever I'm playing a funny Roblox game and I see something really funny, I laugh to it a lot.
Who do you like playing games with the most?
My mom, because it's always fun to stream with her a lot.
If you could make up a game, what would it be about?
It would be about puppies, kittens, cute animals.
Why do you think playing games is so much fun?
Because if you're really bored at home and you don't know what to do and you don't really like playing with your toys a lot, you could just ask an adult to play it on electronic and then you have a lot of fun.
Tell me who your favorite Mario character is.
Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr.? Why?
Because I like him. Yoshi is green.
Who are his friends?
Yoshi.
Which one's your favorite?
This one.
Yeah, why?
Because I like him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Mario Kart now.
You want to play Mario Kart now?
Yeah.
You know what, Celeste? Sometimes I still feel like these kids do, and I'm an adult, which is crazy. As we wrap up this pre-show, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the team's favorite moments and highlights from 2024.
The team had an incredible year, and some of the highlights I'm thinking of are attending PAX East, PAX West together, many for the first time. Many of the community and the members of Boss Rush, this is their first time at those events, and they got to meet their favorite developers and their creators. They conducted interviews and so much more. Andre, did anything stick out for you this year?
Yes. I made the heartbreaking call to sell my first gaming PC, and I actually bought a Steam Deck with that money that I sold my PC. And it was very hard for me because that was my first PC I ever built. But then when I got my Steam Deck, I learned to fall in love with handhelds, and from there, I don't think I've stopped playing my Steam Deck a single day. It's right here, and I play it almost every chance I can get, and it's one of the greatest, probably the greatest gaming experience I've had this year so far.
And I'm gonna have to say that Stephanie Klimov probably inspired that decision.
For
I know
sure,
she loves her Steam Deck.
It is a great piece of tech, and I couldn't be happier. But what about you, Celeste? Did anything stand out for you?
For me in the community, I would have to say it would be seeing the crew head to the PAX events this year. I know we mentioned it earlier, but I was so happy for them. It felt like I was there virtually. I wanted to give them all a hug. I've seen a few of them in person in real life, and it's so great. Just give everybody a high five and feel their spirit. And it was also just so cool to see them at these PAX events connect with the other creators they support. So let's revisit the team's most cherished moments and milestones of 2024, including one member's full circle moment after almost a decade of content creation.
Wow, 2024 for me. One of my favorite moments is definitely going to PAX East and PAX West, but PAX East, of meeting the team. Definitely, and just having those good talks and like the interviews with different developers, and meeting Kim Hawkins, and even meeting Matt Storm for the first time, and other people. Like PAX East was just like everything. And same with PAX West, meeting new people, talking again with the level 1 crew, like after meeting them at PAX East, and just having a great time. My second one definitely is while at PAX West, going to the trivia night and supporting Stephanie. It was fun to see our friends up there and supporting Stephanie up there. My final favorite thing this year was being able to record Nintendo Power Block with all, just not only Corey, but with other friends like with Cordy, Josh, Frankenstein, and Snurts, and just all of these. It's always a honor and a pleasure. So just those three, everybody, are some of my highlights for 2024, and I'm excited to see what comes for 2025.
2024 has been it's been a great year, I would say, in terms of growth in the Boss Rush, as well as growth in my own personal community. I remember Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming out, and just being able to see those characters again, and to hear them, and to explore the wonderful world that Final Fantasy VII is. It's like, it was a real magical moment. In terms of some of my other favorite moments, I really enjoyed my time at PAX. I feel like I grew a lot as a creator, and got to meet really amazing people. Like, first off, a lot of us have met each other for the first time, but yet it didn't feel like it was the first time. It felt like we were family, just seeing each other again after maybe just a short hiatus apart. But it was really awesome. It was cool that we were all able to get along, and it was awesome to just meet various people and build up on friendships with people from Toge Productions and Kim Chico, Jenny. Getting to meet her was absolutely fantastic, and just other people that we've gotten to know both through PAX East, and then we gotten to know better at PAX West. It's something I've always wanted, was to have friends in a community that love video games as much as I do, and to finally be around those people, it felt good.
I just want to go ahead and just talk about 2024 real quickly. For me playing Tekken 8 to playing the online beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds, and getting excited for a 2025 game and things like that. All the innovations in hardware, man, what a phenomenal year for handheld PCs, and the shift to mobile PC gaming. I'll be honest with you, as a tech guy and IT person, I was wondering if this was something that was going to work, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it is. It feels like it's here to stay. It's getting more entrenched in gaming community and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely a high for me. I have my ROG Ally X, and I've thought about buying a Steam Deck just to say, I want to try the other side of the equation and stuff like that. But it's fun, and I love hardware and tech, and that's been a highlight for me, especially I get to play all these hardcore AAA titles, kicked off in bed, or laying on the floor and whatnot, and not having to worry about a big ass screen and stuff like that. Another one for me, and this is more to my co-hosts. You guys made this a really wonderful year. Year after year, it's always wonderful and stuff like that. But I feel like there was some real magic in 2024. So I love and appreciate you guys, and I love and appreciate just the Boss Rush family and community and stuff like that.
2024 came through in a whirlwind. I've made lots of wonderful memories, and some worth noting that I'm sure you've heard already were my experiences at PAX East and at West. got to hang out with my group of friends, those that I interact with primarily online, so seeing them in person is truly a treat. Despite the way we work and live today, I work from home. I communicate with my Boss Rush community from home. It still does not beat the in-person experience. Being able to collaborate with other content creators and being part of a panel. I was part of a panel for the first time ever. Getting that special guest badge was such a treat, such a delight. Even though definitely not at the same level, but technically I took a screenshot from the PAX West website where I'm in the same grouping as other high-profile people in the gaming industry. The world works in funny ways. Through my second job, I somehow made connections to be able to get in touch with Nick Apostolides. Got to get him on the show here at the Boss Rush podcast and really enjoyed having a conversation with him and just talk about games. So those were some highlights for 2024 for me.
It was just a great year for the team overall. I got to meet my team for the first time, most of them anyway. I met several friends, online friends for the first time. You know, they mean a lot to me. They've meant a lot to me for so long. And the fact that, you know, they're real, tangible people and not just stuck in this little Zencaster window. It really meant a lot that we got to do that. We've got to interview some amazing people like Jeff Gardner and James Montagna. We got to interview Billy Basso, who made one of the biggest indie hits of the year. I got to interview Sean Velasco of Yacht Club, one of the dreams of mine since I started doing this. Shovel Knight is one of my favorite indie games, and I will never, ever thank Celia enough for setting that up. I met a lot of other great people this year, a lot of people that I've looked up to over the years. I met the Nextlander team, Giant Bomb. You know, I think anybody who looks at podcasts or Let's Plays, you can point all the way back to Giant Bomb. The fact that I got to meet them and talk to them, and when Vinny made me do the opening to our podcast, which sounds an awful lot like the Nextlander podcast, I met Lord Cognito, someone I've looked up to for several years at this point. I met Greg Miller for the first time, which was a huge inspiration for me doing content in the first place. That brings me to the biggest moment of 2024 for me personally. For those of you who don't know, my first podcast was the Destiny podcast called DNA Weekly Strike. It ran from 2015 to 20 that I co-hosted with my friend Brian, and Destiny is just a big factor of why I'm here and why, you know, many of you know me in a way. So it was a real full circle moment when the Accolades trailer for The Final Shape came out. Our 5-star review of The Final Shape was featured at the end. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And for us, being a small outlet, for someone who's been trying to do this for 10 years, to finally see something that we did in a trailer like Destiny, a game as big as Destiny, I don't know if that moment's ever gonna be topped, to be honest, in terms of content creation for me. I know that a lot of the developers there, or former developers and employees, have kind of had a rough go of it over the last couple years, and you know, that's kind of seemingly changed the landscape of Bungie. But for me, that moment, that true full circle moment, probably the biggest moment in content creation for me ever.
These are some great moments from the past year, but it doesn't stop here. We're only just getting started. The 2024 Bossies, a celebration of video games, begins in a few short minutes. Andre, it's been a pleasure hosting this pre-show with you.
Celeste, I have had such a great time. I had a lot of fun hosting this with you as well.
Well, everyone, if you'd like to keep up with us, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter/X, and Blue Sky at FairyCrypt, FAERIECRYPT. You can also check out Read Only Magazine at Read Only Magazine on Instagram and visit readonlymagazine.com. We'd love to read your pitches for future issues and have you enjoy what we have out there right now. What about you, Andre?
YouTube, X/Blue Sky, Instagram, and I believe TikTok as well, at Jedi Master Banks, JediMasterBinkz. On YouTube, there's a lot of Steam Deck stuff, so get prepared. And on Instagram, it's a lot of just kind of my life. As I mentioned, I do photography, so it's a lot of just kind of slice of life stuff. And then on Blue Sky, I'm just trying to just connect with other people.
I think we'll see, each other on different Boss Rush events, and support Boss Rush by heading over to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. On behalf of myself, my co-host Andre Wilson, and everyone at the Boss Rush Network, Boss Rush Media, and the Boss Rush community, thank you for joining us for the 2024 Bossies Preshow Event. Now, it's time to grab some snacks, drinks, and your loved ones, and enjoy the 2024 Bossies, a celebration of video games. Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Hello everybody, welcome to the 2024 Bossies, a celebration of video games. I am a co-founder and CEO of Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network, Corey Dierig, and tonight we are celebrating the games, the developers, our friends, fellow creators, and colleagues in the industry. Before we get started tonight, I want to thank Celeste and Andre for hosting the pre-show. It was a great event, a lot of work went into it, and a lot of effort went into putting that together, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of them for volunteering to do that. It was great. I love them both dearly, and you'll see them a little bit later on in the show. But before the main event happens, I also want to thank everybody else out there who said yes to participating in this year's Bossies. I did the thing where you send out a lot of invitations and thinking half of the people won't respond and half the people will say no. And the overwhelming majority of people said yes. And so I want to thank everybody. This was a big deal for us as a team. This is our second year doing this, and it has become something that we look forward to. We look forward to putting it together. We look forward to voting. We look forward to playing the new games each year to vote on the following year. So I just want to thank everybody, especially the people who are industry veterans who have been doing this professionally for a long time, who could have just ignored the call, and yet here they are helping us, presenting an award or showing off a game, or telling us about their top games of the year. It's so appreciative. Our entire team appreciates it. Our entire team thanks you all for being here. The show wouldn't be what it is without you, and I cannot tell you how thankful I am. I hope you enjoyed the pre-show. The main event will begin in just a few minutes, and we'll see you there. Enjoy the 2024 Bossies, a celebration of video games.
Yo, that's the homie Sonic. I'm Nellie, former co-host of Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast. You can catch me on X, Planet Nellie, N3LLIE. You can also catch me on Blue Sky under Planet Nellie, N3LLIE. And you can also catch me on Twitch, Bradface_87. One of the biggest highlights for me would be meeting the Boss Rush crew at PAX West. I always felt like we were close, but meeting them in person, that was awesome. Another big highlight for me of this year would be meeting the cast for Red Dead Redemption, and also playing Red Dead Redemption 2 because I did not play it when it was first released. I want to give a big shout out to Corey, Stephanie, and David, and all of the Boss Rush crew for inviting me to do this video. And I will see y'all on the other side in 2025.
Hi, I'm Galutrad.
And I'm Bex.
And we are the hosts of another Pokemon podcast, and you're watching the Bossies.
Woo!
Bex, do you want to talk about your favorite gaming experience of 2024?
Yes.
So my experience came a little late this year. It came with the release of Infinity Nikki, which I have been playing every single day since it came out on my PlayStation.
Yeah, and mine was the release of Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The return to 2D Zelda and the puzzle aspects and traveling the world of Hyrule on the flying tile, best Echo in the game. All right, enjoy the Bossies.
Hey guys, I'm Justin Skirbo from CritRate.io, your premier destination to find game recommendations from other players just like you. And I'm excited to be here as part of the Bossies 2024. We were lucky enough to meet Corey and Steph and the gang at PAX East 2023, where we were exhibiting there. And we had all of the attendees of the show floor come through, take their gaming profile, figure out what other gamers are like them and what they were enjoying on the show floor. It was an awesome experience. And afterwards, we got to spend some time with Corey, Steph, and the gang on the Boss Rush podcast, where we got to talk about the experience, and it was just awesome. But the question for now is, what were my top 3 experiences this year? Definitely got to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Me and the gang really loved our time with Helldivers 2, but above all else, it had to be Astrobot. That game is amazing. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Corey and Steph and everyone, for inviting us to be a part of the Bossies 2024, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do next year.